This is an Unplugged Unfiltered podcast. The views and opinions by the host are not reflected by anyone. Do not take these guys serious. Remember, we can't speak for shit. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the new show. It's the new year. Hold on. Start that over. I need a round of applause for the gang. Welcome, Matt. Welcome. It's a new year. I'm sitting here with my co-host, another Guzman. This is the Unplugged Unfiltered podcast.
How y'all doing? Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. It's the middle of January. It's cold as hell outside. Last week I had on a flight. This week I got on a goose. How y'all doing, though?
You gotta walk in dressing up, ready for the cold, and once you get to the train, you sweating bullets.
I don't know. This that type of weather where you cannot touch the train pole. It's too many people running around sick. Too many people got boogers on. I'm gonna start getting like these Asians and wearing these medical masks and shit. Like, it's wild out there. But welcome to the show, everybody. Drop that horn. 2018, it's a new fucking year, and I have left everybody in 2017.
That is a straight
except
fact.
my sex doll.
Nah, nigga, that's the new wife.
I'm hearing a lot of women is really mad out there that men is finally stepping it up and leaving y'all in 2017. I mean, y'all don't need us for nothing. Y'all just take our sperm and have babies by yourself.
That's because when you have competition like a sex doll who does not talk back, they don't argue, they don't complain. I mean, what's the competition? They just sit there and take it.
It's right. Y'all out here having robophobia and stuff. You can't be judging. I mean, you gotta let people be who they be.
That's what you gotta do. Download that new software.
There's 81 new genders. You didn't know that? There's 81. You gotta pick who you are.
Yeah, I ain't trying to get that white robo.
I didn't really like the goth robo. She was looking a little too pale for me. Like, I seen a couple brown Nubians, like they was looking real good and plasticky.
What's wrong with these sex doll things is that they're bringing too much attention to women now. Now women trying to compete with sex dolls. How you compete with a sex doll? You can't, because we customly make these things. They're beautifully made for us.
Damn, not for nothing. If you feel you gotta compete with a sex doll, you got other issues you need to worry about.
It says self-esteem.
Cause not for nothing, I told my lady about a sex doll. She said, "Let me know when that bitch could cook." I ain't have no answer for that, but I mean, I do got Grubhub, so it'd be all right. But a lot of y'all out there with sex dolls, though, a lot of y'all don't really make enough money to buy a sex doll, though.
How much is a sex doll? I never actually even
seen
looked
them.
it up.
The highest price I saw was about $3,500.
$3,500.
That's a small, cheap car.
Listen, that's a lot of money to pay for sex.
I mean,
you might as well just go and get yourself a prostitute. You never know.
Pornhub is free.
For a blowjob, hey.
Pornhub is free. X videos is free. Like, lotion is $4. I don't know about no $3,500, even $2,000. You guys gonna spend your whole income tax.
Yeah, but you still gotta put your own work in. Stroke. It's just not even worth it at that point.
Can a sex dog get on top?
Can a sex dog stroke?
I don't know. I mean, the ladies. I seen the ladies one. That one's scary. That one kind of scares me because it's just like something she can bounce on and bounce on. And
we all know what a robot is. And at the end of the day, when you hear a robot, you hear them talk like this. So I want to know: does the robot move like that too?
I don't think these things is moving at all, bro. I think they just
you can pick the tempo and shit.
They stationary. I seen one that's like a big Barbie doll, though. The guy was putting it in every position he wanted to. He dressed the bitch up and everything.
There's videos of this already.
There's videos. There's people marrying their sex dolls out there, bro. It's getting, and you can't judge them. You cannot be robophobic in this time. You have to. Everybody's allowed to be who they want to be.
Pornhub just got a brand new category.
Now, if that robot doesn't want to be called the robot and identifies as human, we gotta respect that robot. You can't be going around thinking it's 2018, man.
Nah, it's 100% true. Was that robot was made a woman, but did she want to be? Did she want to be?
Did you ask that robot what that robot wanted to be?
Everything has feelings nowadays. Everything. We have to respect everybody's feelings.
Does this robot want to have sex?
That is 100% true. Are you raping a robot?
Are you raping the sex doll?
Are you raping? Oh my God, it's gonna be a lot of Me Too.
Hollywood with the sex doll? Are you Hollywood in the sex doll?
Listen, we understand, and if you have to come forward, come forward. Sex dolls right now are being quiet all over the world, and we're here for you. We just want to let you guys know. If you have to come forward and let these people know that you've been raped.
Me too. Me too.
Nah, let us not talk about that.
They're going to kill us.
They're going to kill us for that, man.
Rape is not cool. It's really not, though. All jokes aside.
That's a fact. Nah, honestly, if you
in Hollywood, it's normal.
And honestly, even from a man's perspective, that is a sick mentality. If you have to force yourself on a woman and she really does not want it, how can you even continue to force yourself on that woman? That's obviously a sick mentality. This girl is telling you no, 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 and to me and to you, you're getting aroused by that. Come on, you're pretty sick.
I think men like that are predators, and I think predators like that shouldn't go to jail. They shouldn't be locked up. They should just be hung.
They should
I
be
mean,
hung.
that's just me, but
So you believe in the death penalty?
I believe certain things you can't come back from, and I believe raping a child, a woman, like it's something you can't come. We can be the coolest people in the world. I can know you for 30 years, and then one day you confess to me, yo, I raped somebody a long time ago, but you know it was in my past. I might call the cops on you. They asked Cam a long time ago about would he snitch on his neighbor if he was a serial killer. He said no, he's not a snitch. 2017, he changed his vibe, and he said, I'll probably call the cops on him now.
Hey man,
I'm bringing that energy to the table.
There's nothing wrong with being a man. I mean, I feel like being a man is, in a sense, is the word is getting a little thrown on a name or whatever. But I just feel like, in a sense of that,
you are fake news.
In a sense of that, I just feel like men need to be real men. And honestly, I just think that we don't have enough role models in our lives as young men to grow us into becoming real men.
I mean, Nipsey spoke about that, and they dragged him under. Nipsey posted a picture with him, a bunch of like successful black men, and he said, strong black men. He said something about like no homos, like not no homos. He was like just saying like basically that the image they show of us is always the weaker man. You barely see strong black men, strong brown men, strong Hispanic men in these positions of high power. It's always the ones that make us look a little soft. And this isn't to say like men like that aren't strong.
Mm-hmm.
That I mean, a man is a man at the end of the day. It's just the image. They portray us in such. It's like they want to show the bad side of us when we're straight heterosexual men. It's all of a sudden we're gangsters, we're drug dealers, we're this, we're that. But if you're an artist, if you're good at drawing, if you're good at painting, if you're good at doing certain things, they always more show the gay side. Like,
no, that's 100% true. I mean, especially in a sense of, hate to bring it into content, but black and white. So a white man can rape somebody, and it's like not a big headline. But let a black man rape somebody, I guarantee that's the biggest headline in the world. He has to go to jail. He has to have repercussions for his actions. But then white people are shooting people all over the world, and they're getting away with it. And to me, that's just the crazy ass world that we live in. Just like that massacre that just happened down and up in where was that at?
White people don't rape people.
You are fake news.
That's. I mean, from what I hear,
you are fake news.
White people don't do anything.
It's true. As soon as a white person does something, the first thing they want to hear is
Can you stay quiet?
That's all they want to hear all the time. I don't understand stuff like that, but that's just how the world goes, I guess. We live in a blind world, and it's blind to white. Blind to white.
I'm blinded by the light.
Blinded by the
white.
light.
Blinded by the white.
That is a fact, yo. Nah, that's 100% true, though, man. What I don't like about this world and where we're going to is the whole sense of entitlement, or like giving something a title, or something needs to have a title, and now that something has a title, it needs to be recognized or idolized. And just no, you can be gay, or you can be transgender, you can be xeno, whatever.
It's too many titles though nowadays.
It's
too
like much.
It's too many titles.
And honestly, we see you guys. You're here, and that's okay. You're here. You're queer. Let's do this.
Do you know who gets on my nerves more than anybody? Afro Latinos, my nigga. I understand, my nigga. We black. Y'all don't have to go around trying to prove that we black to everybody. If they don't believe we black, let them not believe we black.
I got a question about
our
stuff
skin
like
color
that,
shows, the nappy hair shows, the kinky hair shows. Like,
maybe you can answer this question, or maybe you can shine some light on me. But people are talking about Afro Latinos nowadays, and it's a very big topic. They're saying, "Oh, Latinos don't claim their blackness." All right, well, Latinos to me are kind of mixed, and
we are mixed.
Do Latinos claim their whiteness?
No, we was raped.
It's weird, right?
We don't.
We was raped,
but we. You know what it is? We always claimed our whiteness because a lot of Latinos and a lot of Hispanics always embrace that whiter side. They always try to be more white. If you watch a lot of novellas, if you watch a lot of Spanish TV, everybody on there looks fucking white.
That's 100% true, but maybe they look white through the TV because that's the image they have to portray.
It's the
And maybe they
image
don't
that they
wanna
want to
speak
portray.
out. Like,
It's
you
the
know, like-
image they want to portray. If you go to most of these Spanish countries and you go into the hills and you go into the mountains, a lot of these people are brown. A lot of these people are Taino colored people, dark skin
100%.
colored people. A lot of the people that are lighter skinned, they come from the capitals of most of these places, the places where our oppressors landed. Spanish, the Spain, white people that speak a different language. Let's be real. Hispanics are mixed. We are all a mix. We are a multiracial people. But our cultures are our places, our countries we're from. Our cultures, our ethnicities are we're Puerto Ricans, we're Dominicans,
Mm-hmm.
we're Mexicans, we're Jamaicans.
A
Like
lot of people don't even know the difference between race and
a lot of people
ethnicity.
don't. Like I said Jamaicans. I don't know what y'all got to do with that, but shout out to Flavors. Shout out to
Fuck, throw y'all
Flavors.
in there, yo.
Throw y'all in
Wagwan.
there, you know what I'm saying? Guan, what's that?
You don't know, eh? My yo.
Kill this nigga, son. Kill this nigga.
But it just goes to show it that goes down to roots and roots and roots. And what happens is our parents are conditioned and they don't know better. Their parents didn't know better. Their parents were conditioned and cultured and raised a certain way, and they weren't trying to look for answers. But this is a whole new generation, and we here and we looking for answers.
All right, I hate y'all Afro Latinos. I hate y'all fake woke niggas. We is what we is. We are what we are. My grandfather is black as a tire. Can't none of y'all niggas tell me shit.
That's a fact.
That old man is dark skinned with an afro, and if you tell him he not black, he'll punch you in your fucking mouth. Fuck that shit. We black, we brown, we white, we everything.
It's
We
true.
are what we are. We mix. We can't help it.
And when we stop
But-
looking at color, it'll be better.
I can't stop looking at color yet, cause they ain't stopped looking at color yet.
That's
It's
true.
it's hard like to not hate white people when they're the reason why everything bad happens. And you show me something that don't say it. Matter of fact, white people don't do nothing. White people
You are
are
fake
innocent.
news.
White people are so innocent.
You are fake news.
Nah, that's a fact. And if you ever seen there's an interview with G-Eazy, and he's up on a Breakfast Club, and they interviewed him, and they talking about claiming your whiteness and who you are, and basically G-Eazy was basically saying that he knows that he gets a lot of white advantages for him being white, even though he's in a black environment
in
or
a
a black
black-
field. So we're
Yeah,
not
he's in
saying,
hip-hop.
we're not mad at you white people for having this privilege. Have this privilege, take advantage. If you want to go out there and take advantage, trust me. If we have privilege,
But
we'll take
use your
advantage too.
privilege. Use
But-
your privilege for good.
Exactly.
You know why I respect G-Eazy? Because as soon as that H&M shit happened, y'all say what y'all want, whatever with
He
the
backed
H&M
out.
shit. He backed out. He said even if it went good, I don't want to touch it.
Yeah.
I can't have my name associated with that.
That's a touchy subject, and if you guys know how to play your cards right, then
That's
you'll be using your
principle.
privilege for a right
It's hard.
reason.
That's principle. It's hard to have principle like that. It's hard to have discipline like that. He walked away from millions of dollars. He said it himself. I ain't buy my mama house yet. He
Mhm.
hasn't done everything he wants to do yet. He walked away because of how it would make him look. A lot of people don't see that. It's how shit makes us look. You can say whatever. We kill each other. We do everything else. We do it to each other. Yeah, that's true. Some of us are lost. But when this shit happens to us and we complain, or like the white people with the cops and shit, I mean, we not out there shooting each other as much as cops shoot us. I don't care what nobody say. If you look, I mean, I'm talking period. If you look how many people die in America every year, black, white, brown, Indian, from cops kill so many people every year. It's unbelievable. I understand everybody loves to bring in Chicago. All right, what the cops doing in Chicago? What did the cops do to stop the killings in Chicago?
They didn't stop the killings. If anything, when people started protesting in Chicago, they were there just to fight them off. How you gonna fight off protesters? Like, at the end of the day, we're all raised with a certain law inside of us, and we know inside this is the wrong thing to do. It don't matter. You feel it. All right, I feel type wrong doing this. So I don't understand half a cop's mentality. I understand it's a job and you got to make that money and pay for your bills and take care of your family.
That's why I
but
truly believe some cops truly hate us. Like, I've seen anger. I've seen, like, rage in cops' face. Like, yo, I didn't even do nothing,
one
bro.
argument I love is like there's bad cops and there's good cops. And that's true, maybe. There's bad cops and there is good cops. But guarantee those good cops will eventually be bad cops because that's a job. And you have a boss to report to, and eventually that boss is going to have authority
They
over
say
you.
you
You
either
have
die
no
a
choice.
hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
And that's the straight
And that's
motto
a true
for a cop.
story. And even if the cop never becomes bad, he don't rat out his friends, which makes you just as worse. If you're a cop that turns your back to police brutality and to a cop doing something wrong, you know what's the worst? When I see black and Spanish cops, or Hispanic for y'all niggas that like to correct shit. And you know what's sad? Not even. Sometimes I see in New York, I see a lot of black and Hispanic cops abuse their power way more. way more than white cops.
And I just feel like that's probably because as they grew up and they got harassed by cops, they were like, you know what? I'm gonna be a cop. That way, when I become a cop, I could do the same thing to these little people or these little niggas. I feel like they've just been mistreated a certain way, and they try to take advantage of their platform now to mistreat those people the exact same way they were mistreated.
I don't know. I don't know. It's like, cop, fuck the police. Off that. So I want to talk about lean for a second. Like, I got a real touchy subject with this lean. Rest in peace to Fredo Santana,
Rest
you know.
in peace, ASAP Yams.
Rest in peace to ASAP Yams, you know, Yambagini. It's just amazing. Like, I was young and I drunk a lot of lean in my early teenage years. My late teenage years and my early 20s, I drunk a lot of lean. And this was Lil Wayne days. This was prostitution fling days, you know. Throwback, Lil Wayne was on fire. We was all drinking lean with Jolly Ranchers, dropping it in our Sprite. And I noticed I became a junkie.
Nigga said candy juice.
I never been so high when I took lean and I took Xans and I took perks. I never got into Xans too heavy, but I got into lean. And lean is addictive.
And that's crazy. I mean, I can't talk from that perspective. I never took lean in my life, but I know all about drugs and I know all about lean and the way the environment's going right now, especially the community and the young kids and how they going into drugs, especially heavy drugs. But as a question from you to you, as somebody who was a lean drinker, how do you ex-lean drinker? How do you?
You are fake news.
How do you even go from like in an outside perspective when you look at something like that? What makes you want to indulge in it?
Be honest, it's the environment we was in. It was music. It was hearing about it. It was me being young and stressed and friends dying all around me, and liquor and marijuana wasn't cutting it.
Oh, it was depression state.
I say a lot of us suffer from depression and a lot of things we go through in the hood. A lot of us suffer through PTSD in the hood and don't realize it. I mean, it's not normal to be 15 years old burying your friends. 14 years old burying your friends. It is now, but it's only normal in our community.
Exactly.
It's not normal in the suburbs. It's normal in our community. And that's the difference. We self-medicate. And I'm not even blaming that. I just wanted to be cool sometimes. And then I realized I was doing something and it started going overboard. I smoke. I'm a smoker. I got to the point where I realized if I didn't have my pint or if I ain't dropped my little 2 ounces in my Sprite in the morning, my stomach would hurt. I would feel weak. I would feel agitated. And I never got that from weed. I tested myself. I stopped drinking lean for 2 days, started going through withdrawals, waking up sweating. I realized I had a problem. I ended up going to the hospital. I had ulcers. I ended up having to take medicine because my doctor said my liver was acting up. And I took medicine for a couple months. I told him the reason. He asked me, you want to die? Keep drinking lean. He said, it's cough syrup. You're meant to drink less than 10 milligrams for when you're sick. You ever seen them little bottles? That's 10 milligrams. 10 milliliters. We dropping 1 or 2 ounces in a Sprite. Finishing that Sprite in 1 day.
That's 100%. And that's why I had to ask that question, because from the outside looking in, I only see it as a junkie perspective. So
it is.
So when I see stuff like that, I'm like, all right, so if people are taking lean and they're getting into lean, would you get into heroin? Would you get into meth?
You're not far off.
That's the stuff you have to start asking yourself, because when you start getting into hard drugs, your body, like he said, starts to depend on it. And the minute you get off those drugs, your body's gonna want those drugs again. So it's hard to get off of it. I would say, guys, y'all need to stop trying to look cool and just. I know it's inside the culture right now, and it's being idolized or it's being portrayed into the light, and the negative shines and way more louder than the positive. But we gotta do better for ourselves and better for our community.
Yeah, we really do. And a lot of the older folks, y'all gotta stop these little kids. These little kids is 14 years old, 15 years old, drinking something, and their body's not even developed.
Yeah, man.
They're still growing. They're still in their growing process, and they're damaging their liver, their stomach. That shit kills you from the inside out. It's medicine, not 100%. Good medicine.
We gotta be here for the kids, guys, because at the end of the day, we're not here for the kids. We're not raising them right as well. Like, for example, there's a Dave East song. It's something simple like he don't see kids shoveling when there's snow outside no more. That's a straight fact. We back in the days we used to hustle. When it was snowing,
I used to make 200 a day.
We good.
200
we here.
a
Yes.
day.
Nowadays it's snowing. Nobody's outside, but y'all crying broke. Go out there and get some money. Wake up, get
Nah,
up.
it's a lot of laziness in this generation. This generation, you either work hard or you're real lazy.
And I'm not even
There's
mad
no
at
in
them.
between no
Because
more.
at the end of the day, that's what they taught. They don't really know much. They come on, their moms is on Section A, or they're providing for, they waiting for government assistance, and they like that. There's a whole story about like a 500-pound white lady who's never had a job, who's always on government assistance, and she's like, hey, the government's gonna take care of me. I'ma rock with it, which is not a bad mentality. I understand somebody's there to take care of you. You
Get
have
how you
no
live,
fucking
baby.
day.
Get it how you live.
Exactly. I ain't mad at you, boy, but don't be mad at yourself. At the end of the day, when we start judging you or your kids are raised a certain way and it starts going down to a line of generation and generation, don't be mad at us. Don't be mad at the system. Be mad at yourself, because this is how you start to raise your kids.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, this system and that whole welfare setup, that whole shit is to keep us exactly where they want. You could say, yeah, more white people are on welfare than us. Yeah, now, because there's more white people in the country. White people are the majority. We're the minority for a reason. There's a reason why we're minority, because we're the minority in the country. There's more of them than there is of us. So mathematically, of course, there's going to be more white people on welfare. Of course, there's going to be more rich white people. Of course, there's more poor white people. There's more white people.
100%.
That's just how it is. Caucasians, white people, clear folk, whatever you want to call them, skinwalkers, crack ass. Now, not every white person's a cracker, though. See, that's the difference, too. I say that. Crack ass, cracker for racist white people. Non-racist white people understand what I'm saying. It's a difference. Like, there's white people that look at me and, they smile.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
if they're a little scared, they might smile a little bit. Like, then there's that white bitch that grab her bag and walk halfway down the platform and stare at me to make sure I'm not walking to her.
Across the street when they see you walking towards
Across the street, and then when the bus come, this bitch end up coming on the same bus as me. She ain't want to wait for me with the bus. She go in the store because she, bitch, dude, we getting on the bus. Do it look like I got this bright ass light? Do it look like I want to rob you? Like, you on the bus with me, bitch? Like,
got a red biggie on, and she like, no, you can run away and shit.
if I'm gonna rob somebody, I'm not gonna rob somebody getting on the bus with me. Like, you probably just as broke as me, bitch. Like, I'm gonna go rob a nigga waiting for his car to come out the garage or some shit. Like,
Nah, it's a straight fact. But to me, I never seen myself getting into that side. I can't call somebody a racial slur and then not expect that person to call me a racial slur and be like, all right, well, that's okay now, because we all calling each other racial slurs nowadays. I just feel like we have to do better. When we start to think and do better, man, that negativity will start to stress so bad it's not even funny. So in a sense of that, you can't think of like, oh, black people aren't. I feel like a lot of black people think that black people aren't successful, and black people are successful, and a lot of black people are successful. We're just looking at the white successful people for no reason. Fuck these white successful people. Black people are just as successful as white people, if not fully successful, coming up. And then you could look at rich people all over the world. It's Indians. It's mostly Indians and Arabs. It ain't white people. It's just we idolizing these niggas.
number facts. I mean, but in this country, white people do have a poor white person has a better chance of succeeding than a poor black or brown person.
No, 100%.
And basically, right off the back, it's skin color. For some reason, like dark skinned people, we come across, like me, I come across like I'm gonna rob you sometimes. Like, if I have my hoodie on, I have my ski mask on. If I don't have my work uniform on, people look at me a certain way. I notice when I have my work uniform on, I get smiles. People hold the door for me. There's certain things that happen a different way.
100%.
Like, old ladies look at me a different way. When I got my Timbs on, nigga, and these jeans on, and the hoodie and the goose on, like, it's a whole different reaction. I could maybe see the same lady, and she might give me a look like, oh, shit, that's how you really look? That's how you really dress? Like, I see it all the time at my job. I see how I come in, and certain people see how I dress normally, and they give me that, look at this little ghetto nigga look. But then I'm in the uniform, and it's a whole different look. Like, they look at us different. We're viewed different in America. We're on the come up, but we ain't come up all the way. We're not equal to them, not yet. We are equal, like, as humans, yeah, we can't say we're not equal, but the world still isn't looking at that way. Half this world is trying to be white. Half this world is trying to still have that white image. Like, they're not trying to shake. It's shaking now. Our generation is shaking shit up. Our generation, I could say, like, our generation was one of the first generations that wasn't really racist. This shit was put on us a couple years. 3, 4, 5 years ago, this race topic came back up.
100%.
And all of a sudden, it was just pumped and pumped and pumped and pumped and pumped.
You know what
They
we gotta
pumped
do?
it into us.
We gotta make our culture the normal. So, for example, what
Our
I mean.
culture is the no. Our culture runs the fucking world.
Well, what I mean by that is that when you go to an interview, what do, right? You act white, or they be like, "Oh, you talking white."
You got your interview
You got
voice
your
on.
interview voice
You waiting
on.
for a job to call. As soon as they pick up, hello.
As soon as Kanye West started to speak a little bit of, I guess you could say, intellect or have his vocabulary up, they started saying, "Oh, he's starting to speak white. He's changing how he speaks." I watched the interview with Gary Vee and Ebro the other day when Ebro was like, "I started to learn how to talk white, and it started to open doors for me." And Gary Vee was like, what do you mean by talking white? So open up my vocabulary, start speaking like this, and it opened up all these doors for him. And I feel like it's because being white or talking white is the norm. And I'm like, we need now our culture is just rising above the white, and they're mad. But guess what? Our culture's here, boy.
No, and see, it's not. White people aren't mad.
We yearn
Crackers
all
are
over
mad.
the world. We
Crackers are
yearn
mad.
all over the world.
Rednecks are mad. It's not all white. There's white people
No,
with
it's not
us.
all white people. 100%.
It's not. It's crackers. That's why you have to separate it. You have to separate these people. It's crackers. Crackers.
That's a straight fact, though. I'm not.
This
even
is
gonna
why
lie.
I do that, because I have to separate. I cannot say all white people are racist, because I grew up around white kids. But I grew up around racist crackers too.
Mhm.
I grew up around in certain neighborhoods where I was walking and white kids stare at you. Albanian kids try to jump you. Russian kids try to jump you. If you getting off their train stop, nigga, you might get jumped like if you got off on the wrong project train stop. It's the same shit. And New York is different because we grew up around so many different races and Asians. And I know Asian kids that don't speak Chinese. I know Russians that don't speak Russian. Spanish kids that don't speak Spanish.
Right here.
Hispanics for the Afro-Latinos. Like,
They call me fake body.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I get attacked all day just for being Puerto Rican. It's cool. We had our shine. Y'all Dominicans could rock out anyway. I've been fucking all y'all women for years, so I ain't mad at y'all. I don't fuck Puerto Rican women anyway. Shout out to all my Dominican women out there.
New topic.
Because a lot of y'all was too occupied with the government shutdown, quotation marks, even though you can't see me doing it. But yeah, y'all was real concerned. I say this happens a lot. Government shutdown, just angry white men arguing over money, and boom, 2-3 days later it's over. But nobody talking about New California.
That's a fact, though. You know what's funny about that whole government shutdown is that half y'all didn't even know what the hell that meant. And to be honest, I had to be a little enlightened about that situation as well. Because people are going around talking about they gonna purge.
Nobody, y'all thought it was no laws.
What, you thought this was Black Friday every day?
They thought it was over, right? Niggas thought they didn't have to go to work in the morning. They thought they didn't have to pay their taxes.
At that point, what you gonna do with yourself, man?
Come on, man. Y'all don't realize the Senate is just a bunch of old men in a room, a couple black men, a couple women here and there, like sprinkled in just so diversity, like so they could say the glass ceiling was broke. But no, the glass ceiling is really intact, man. Like these white guys, they argue over money. This is what the government shutdown was about, money.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't even realize the government could shut down and we won't feel it for months. Months, we won't feel it. We will not feel it for months, bro. And you know why we won't feel it for months? Because basically, the government shuts down because they can't work out budgets. They cannot work out budgets. The federal government has to give each state a budget to mandate every city, every county in their state. To mandate police, the healthcare, fire departments, emergency services, basically public services, highways, everything that a state needs. They get the money from the government and they get the money that they tax. So they get their tax money, then they get their government money every year. Basically, the white man couldn't decide who they wanted to give more or who was supposed to get less. That's all the government shutdown is. But we won't feel it for months. You guys were ready to riot after one day thinking it was no more rules. And yes, a government shutdown could be bad because eventually certain states won't have fire departments. Certain states won't have police departments. Certain states won't have EMS. Hospitals will close. Roads won't get fixed. States like New York that have high taxes will survive because we tax our people. States like Florida don't have a state tax, so they literally depend on the federal government. But then they have also a high tourist population. They get billions every year in tourist money, so they're good on that. Other states that don't have that will fail and crumble and end up like Detroit over time. This ain't no flip a coin and boom, it's over. No, this is a coin that's gonna be in the air a long fucking time, flipping and flipping and flipping till it finally hits the floor. And look, 3 days later, we back to normal. You guys went nuts over that. California wants to separate. I didn't see one tweet.
That is a fact. I didn't see one tweet about that at all. I didn't even see that in the news, to be honest. And maybe I'm watching the wrong news channel, but I did not see anything about New California. I wasn't even enlightened about New California. It's like 2 days ago. And how long has this been going? You have to have a continuous fight. You just don't wake up one day like, hey, we're going to start New California.
The process is already in go.
There's
going to be a New California soon.
That is amazing.
California will divide. California will be like Virginia and West Virginia. I was just
about to bring up Virginia and West Virginia. That's 100%
West
true.
Virginia got tired of Virginia shit one day. Said, you know what? Fuck y'all.
And then they asked New California, basically, why do they want to start New California? And the guy was basically saying they don't feel like California is being governed right, and they're not taking care of California.
It's the cracker ass crackers. They mad because California is gonna have free health care. California's legalizing weed, legalizing it for good. California is gonna get rid of certain convictions for people that were charged with marijuana. California is so fucking progressive, and they hate it. They hate it.
That's the bad part. They just conditioned and they don't want nothing new. What you don't want nothing new for? Listen, if y'all don't want nothing new, don't worry. Y'all about to die soon. Go. Live your life and then just pass away. And trust me, we'll all be happy.
We fucking built this country. I ain't built it.
And the funny thing is we're fighting for peace. Listen, we're fighting for that shit. That's sad on its own, those words. Why we gotta fight for it? That makes no sense. Put that through your old thick skull.
We're still fighting for something. For 200 years later, we're still fighting for something. We're still fighting to be respected. We're still fighting to not get called niggas. We're still fighting for cops to pull us over and be fair.
We're still fighting for equal success options.
And you guys are fighting to be racist.
Like, what?
It's taught. It's in their blood. It's taught in them. It's in them. And this is why I judge some of my people. I don't go for nothing with my people. If you Hispanic and you say some racist shit in front of me, I'm going to check you so fucking fast, 2018. Like,
I just want to say, at the end of the day, wherever we go in this life, let's just keep on going this way. If we let's just speak louder than these people and make our voice be heard no matter what. So on that note, I just feel like keep the positivity going, keep your head high, keep the light shining, and don't worry about all that negative. Don't worry about what we can't do. Worry about what we can do. And whatever we can't do, we'll find a way to do it. Trust on that. We'll find a way to do it. Because as the years keep on progressing, it's opened up a whole bunch of doors for us young people. We're just not entering them. We're not looking at the door, we closing them. I don't understand why, but keep on looking through those doors, keep on opening your doors, and eventually our light will shine. And black, just keep on uniting. That's all we got to do. We'll be good. Just remember, white ain't right. Black trying to unite.
All right, my final words. This is our show for the day. Like, it's a quick one. We just here. This is going to be our first episode of 2018. For everybody that's still here and didn't click off our shit yet, I really appreciate y'all listening. Our show is two young Hispanic niggas that think they black sitting down talking. And we just talk about random things. We're going to give our unplugged, unfiltered view of everything we talk about. We're not going to hold back. We're not going to sugarcoat. We're going to say everything, call everything how we see it. And that's just what it's going to be. This is Unplugged, Unfiltered. Thank you for listening. This has been an Unplugged, Unfiltered podcast. If you guys want to reach us, you can follow us on all our socials at Another Guzman. Follow me on all my socials at New York Neek.